Welcome everyone to another Sergeant Sentinel Gaming video game review. I'm SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel, and today I'm reviewing Terminator 2D No Fate. But before I continue, I want to say thanks if you're watching this video. I do greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying this video. Share this with others on social media who may be interested in it as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I upload new content. And of course, last but not least, if you have something to say, leave it in the comment section below. Published by Reef Entertainment and developed by Bitmap Bureau, Terminator 2D No Fate released on December 12th, 2025 for Nintendo Switch, Windows, last generation and current generation Xbox and PlayStation consoles, and it's a 2D side-scrolling action game with brawling and shooting sections. Now obviously, for pretty much everybody on planet Earth, we all know what Terminator 2 is about. And this game leans heavily into the main storyline of Terminator 2. But that's not saying that it's limited by it. Definitely not. In fact, one could argue that is this game's greatest strength. While it does pay homage to the greatest movie in the Terminator franchise, it does add to it by giving you the option to deviate from the original storyline, almost like an alternate timeline of events. Now, I did think about expanding upon this in the review, but I really want to refrain from spoilers, so I will be as non-specific as I can be. Now, in Terminator 2, there are key events that happen that basically shape the course of history in the Terminator franchise. And in Terminator 2, you have the ability to rewrite some of those, such as if you're going to kill somebody, you decide to spare them, or if you spare someone, you decide to kill them, or you decide not to do an action that basically creates the ability of a certain character to decide for themselves what they want to do, or learn from the characters they're around. I'm not going to expand upon that. If you've seen the movie, you kind of understand what I'm talking about, but I don't really want to spoil this for anyone, especially people that love the Terminator franchise, because I feel that this game, although it is pretty simplified and it is a 2D side-scroller, it does respect the source material tremendously, and one could say it's a throwback to the 90s with its side-scrolling action. It basically looks like, I don't want to say a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis game, because it looks better than that, to be honest. It just leans heavily on that type, that look that was so prevalent during the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo days. Before 3D really took off, of course, the 2D graphics were pretty good, especially when you compare against the predecessors like Nintendo and the Sega Master System. And that's why I'm referring to it kind of as a Super Nintendo Sega Genesis looking game. Its graphics are better, but it leans on that retro feel. And I think especially with a lot of people who grew up watching Terminator 2, they're going to appreciate the approach that the developers took in this aspect. It's kind of like how Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon leaned heavily on the nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. Terminator 2D No Fate definitely leans on this. It leans on the nostalgia of the 90s and makes you feel like you are playing a game from that era. Now, obviously, the bad part about that is that not everyone's going to be a fan of side-scrollers, and some people might find this game a little short, seeing as through the initial playthrough, it'll take you about 2 hours. Now, yes, you go back, you can play through again, and once you complete the first playthrough, it unlocks a lot of these choices that you can make that basically allow the storyline to deviate, like I said, into this alternate timeline of events. And that is greatest strength, but for some people that may not be enough. However, for fans of the Terminator franchise, this definitely feels like a game that you're going to enjoy playing at least once. Now, the point of contention that I have is that this game is $50 full priced. And it's basically, like I said, a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis game from the 90s, but it's in 2025, so you're paying $50 for a 2D side-scroller, and in my opinion, it's not worth $50, doesn't matter how good the game is, just because we're not in that era anymore. I would say maybe $25 to $30 would be fine. But what are your thoughts on Terminator 2D No Fate? Have you played it? Did you enjoy it? Is the $50 price point an issue for you? Or do you look at it and say, you know what? I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this game, so I don't mind spending $50 on it. Definitely let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, that's it for this video. Again, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate it. This is SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel. Be sure to check out the other videos on my YouTube channel. And take it easy, gamers.